Hello and welcome back. It's great to have you here. You're doing great, so let's keep the momentum going. It's time to get hands-on as we tackle our next lab, building your first error handler. Let's get started.
So what's our mission? We're going to take a flow that produces a messy, generic 500 error and transform it. Our goal is to gracefully catch a specific not found error, stop the flow, and return a clean, professional 404 response with a helpful JSON message for the API consumer.
First, let's see the problem in action. I'm running the application without any error handling. When I send a request, service responds randomly, including HTTP status codes such as 200, 404, or even 503. At the end, it's a 500 internal server error, and the body isn't even JSON. This is neither user-friendly, not API-friendly, and doesn't tell the consumer what went wrong. We can do much better.
Our first step is to prepare the HTTP listener to accept instructions from our error handler. I'll select the listener on the canvas and go to the Advanced tab in the Properties panel. Here, in the Error Response section, I'll set the status code to read from a variable we'll create later called status code. I'll also set the body to simply output the payload. This gives our error handler full control over the final HTTP response.
Next, let's add the error handling logic. I'll go to the error handling section for the flow and click the plus button to add a new on-error propagate scope. This will catch errors and ensure the flow is marked as a failure. To make sure it only catches the specific error we're looking for, I'll quickly switch over to the configuration XML view and add the type attribute, setting it to HTTP not found. Now we need to build our professional response. Back in the design view, I'll add a transform component inside our new error scope. First, in the payload section, I'll write a simple data-weave expression to create our JSON error message. Then, and this is the key part, I'll click the Add New Target button, select Variable, and create our status code variable, setting its value to 404. This is the variable our listener will use.
With our changes saved, let's run the application and try that same request one more time. And there we go. Look at that. We get a proper 404 not found status, and the body is our clean, professional JSON message. The second HTTP request was never called, and our API behaved exactly as it should. Perfect.
Excellent work on that first handler. We've successfully managed a critical failure. But what happens when an error isn't critical? In Part 2, we'll tackle a new scenario. The supplier service is unavailable. Instead of failing the whole request, we'll use an on-error continue scope to catch this specific error, provide a fallback message, and still return a 200 OK to the user. This is a powerful technique called graceful degradation. Let's add our second handler.
Okay, let's add our second handler. I'll go back to the flow's main error handling section and click the plus button again. This time, I'll select On Error Continue. This is crucial because we want the flow to succeed even if this step fails. Just like before, I'll switch to the XML view to set the specific type we're catching, which is HTTP service unavailable. Now, inside our new on-error continue scope, we need to create that fallback response. I'll add another transform component. The logic here is really powerful. Let me paste the script first. Notice in the data-weave script, I can still access vars.inventoryResponse because that part of the flow succeeded before the error happened. I'll combine that real data with a static unknown block for the supplier stock.
This creates our gracefully degraded payload.
And now for the final test. I'll send a request that I know will cause the supplier check to fail. And look at the result. We get a 200 OK. The response body contains the real data from our inventory and the unknown data for the supplier. Our on-error continue handler did its job perfectly, absorbing the non-critical error and allowing the flow to return a successful response.
And that wraps up our walkthrough on building your first error handler. Excellent job on this lesson. You've made a huge leap in turning a simple flow into a robust, production-ready API. Let these concepts sink in for a moment. When you're prepared to move on, the next part of the course is ready for you. See you there.